Ngozi Talk Shows family. It's Nipsa here at Ngozi Talk Shows. Find your own voice lit from within. I'm on my own today. It's Thursday, guys, and we're talking about love, 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 love. Um, so that's what we'll be talking about. Um, what are the must questions for an unforgettable first date? Um, to get to know someone better and establish a connection with that person, you have to ask some questions. And those questions is the questions that you've already asked yourself. And you've already, before you decide to go on a date, you do ask yourself some questions like, um, what kind of, like, you work on yourself, personal development, you work really, really hard to make sure that you know where you're going. And then when you work really hard on yourself, your inner world and your outer world, then you're like, okay, I'm ready to bring somebody into my life so that person can come and enjoy my world and I can share my world with them. But then you sit down and ask yourself a question. What kind of a man am I looking for, or what kind of a woman am I looking for? So those questions that you ask yourself, like imagining the kind of a person you're looking for. The list is like personal values, beliefs, because you ask yourself about your personal values, you ask yourself about beliefs, you family history, your goals, and the list goes on. So, in order to keep the conversation going, so you're gonna have to use these questions. So let's go on a date, guys. First, before we go on a date, we check ourselves out, make sure that you're authentic, make sure that I do know that if you go out there, everyone, people will be giving advice on what to wear when you go on a date, what not to wear when you go on a date. The important thing for me is wear something like mostly women. Men, please make an effort when you go on a date. Make an effort to show that person they're special, and make an effort so that when they see you, they get excited and don't just say, okay, I'm just gonna go on a date and not making any effort, not preparing. Make an effort. If you don't know how to dress, don't worry. If you show up on a date with a woman that knows exactly what they want, if you're a man, that woman will hold your hand. If they do like you, they will still date you. Or if you have friends, uh, maybe girlfriends, like family members, don't be shy to ask for help and say, listen, I've got things that I need to do, but I need some help to go out there and choose my clothes. I need somebody that helps me. Here at Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency, we have somebody that deals with all that, that helps our clients hold their hands, go shopping. A stylist go shopping and help them out. A stylist is just there as a body. They'll trigger something to make sure that whatever you buy is your choice. Make sure that when you go on a date, make an effort. But when I'm saying you make an effort, I'm not saying you do things that are not to you. Keep it simple, authentic. No cleavage, ladies. Please. You don't want, when you go on a first date, you don't want a man to be distracted with your boobs because you want him to engage into the conversation. You want to ask questions and you want that person to answer you truthfully. So what I would say on a first date, let's keep our boobies inside. And whatever we dress, anything that is cleavage, just keep it inside. Make sure that that person they pick you for you, not because of your body. Body is a privilege that it comes with it. So make sure we don't bring destruction like anything. Cover your chest. No boobies out. Okay, like no boobies out. No boobies out. We don't want no destruction at all. So you just want that person to actually focus on the conversation, and you want them to select you. And if they're not your match, you don't want to end up with the wrong person as well. So guys, make an effort before you go on a date. Women, make an effort to make sure that the cleavage is close. The mostly is the chest. The chest is very, very, very destructive, because if you are somebody who has really, really nice boobies, and God gave you that body, and if you go out and you take your boobies out, that will cause a poor guy distraction. And the poor guy, even if they're not into you, they'll end up being into you. They'll end up telling you what you want to hear. So you don't really want all that. So on a first date, make sure the chest is covered, your boobies, and the guys make an effort, and ladies make an effort to wear something. For me, I'm not a love harmonist, a matchmaker that tells people what to wear. I always, when you dress on a date, you don't dress like you're going to the office. That's the advice that I can give you. You're not going to the office, you're not going for interview. You're going to have fun, you're going on a date. So dress like the person that is going on a date. So you know those clothes that when you wear, you feel like $1 million a person inside. So wear that those kind of things. But if you want some advice, you can always text us or email Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency. Will give you some advice on what to wear. So you can do that. And then now, preparing going on a date. Before we get to the question, because these are the things that you have to prepare yourself. You can either meditate, because if you are somebody who is worried if the other person is going to like you, and the nerves can get to us, and meditate before you go out, and do some breathing exercises as well. And also know that the person that you are meeting, you're not meeting them to judge you, but you are meeting them for fun. So keep that fun within you. That loving, we have this natural kindness within us. Anything that is real, a person, when you are with somebody, they can see it, that is real. Imagine when you go for, imagine when you go for interview. When you go for interview, you actually want to get the job, and you keep it authentic, because you want the company, the person that is giving you interview, you want them to like you want them to accept you, you want them to give you the job. What you do is you keep it authentic. When you go for interview, no one goes for interview and fake it, guys. Even if they're telling a little bit of pocket about their career, their experience, but they keep it authentic. They keep it really, really simple, and keep it authentic. I have never ever had to go for interview and have to actually be something. I've always keep it simple and keep it authentic. If that person takes you, so it's like that. Or let's say if you're going out with a family member going for coffee, family members or a friend, when you go for coffee, you get excited that you're going for coffee. The date is like that. You don't have to change the attitude, or you don't have to go in front of the mirror and practice. Some people they do the questions you already the questions of the person you want to date. You already know them in your heart. So you don't need to go and be an actor, go in front of the mirror. I find that when you are being authentic, really, really true, authentic self, it works. Just go out, not going in front of the mirror and saying hi to the mirror. How are you doing? I'm doing well. And then you start asking questions in front of the mirror. To me, that doesn't work. I find that if I connect, if I write down the questions, write down the questions that you want to ask. Once you write them down, connect with those questions. They need to mean something to you. Ask yourself a big why. Why do I need to ask these questions? What happens if I don't ask these questions? And you have to bring out your inner child as well, the playful side of you. Bring it out. You cannot go on a date serious, being serious, and you have to be playful, and also you have to be acceptance. Some people they think they get excited like when you go on a date, you meet somebody, let's say it's a blind date, and then when you meet somebody, maybe you're expecting a tall guy, a 6 foot guy, and then a 5'9" guy shows up, and then you get disappointed. But a kind person that is natural, well natured, they don't do that. When you meet somebody, your attitude does not have to change. Even if you are not gonna like the person for date, even if you like the person for dating, even if you sorry, if you don't like the person for dating, you're not going to judge them if you nature yourself within. If I meet somebody like myself, that okay, this is the person that I'm going on a date with, but he is not my type. I don't have to change my attitude. My attitude remains the same. I ask the same questions. By asking the same questions, I'm actually helping myself with my confidence, and I'm helping the other guy with confidence, even if I don't like that person. When I leave, I don't have to lie to them if I don't like them. That, oh, yeah, I'm going to meet you, knowing that I don't like them. If I'm not sure 100%, I can go back for the second time. And then if I still feel the same, that would be a no no. Okay. So now you get ready. What the questions that you want to ask, write them down. Because when you write something down, you write them down over and over. Because when you go and speak to somebody in front of the mirror, uh, and then you get to a real date. I find sometimes like if I, as a speaker, if I have a speaking event, if I go in front of the mirror and practice in front of the mirror, for me it doesn't work. For those that it works, you guys can go ahead and practice in front of the mirror. I find myself if I'm talking like I walk around the house, I'll practice my whatever I'm gonna talk about. I'll practice it over and over and over. I'll write it down. I'll type it. I'll do whatever I have to do. But if I go in front of the mirror, I find that I don't bring out the best in me, that my whole being. I hold back because when I'm going to reality speaking to people, I'm not going to be in front of the mirror. So all I have to do, because I don't need to watch me, all I need to do is to connect with my conversation. We need the link between you and the conversation. That that conversation, it needs to flow inside of you, within you. You need to feel that connection. You need to welcome the message, welcome the questions into your heart, and give those questions a hug. But you're not gonna do that in front of the mirror. But if it works, go in front of the mirror. Once you know the questions that you want to ask, now let's go on a date. Meeting the person face to face. Let's ask the question now. When you meet that person face to face, and make sure you wear something that is comfortable, and keep it authentic. Wear your authentic coat as well. Uh, have the courage to be you, because if you pretend to be something that you're not, that person meets the fake one, and that real person, if they like you, the real you is going to show up later. and the person is gonna be whoa, whoa, whoa. This is not the person that I've met. So it's good to date somebody like that likes you for you. So the first question that you ask, you do is icebreakers. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? And then that person will tell you the list, what they do. So you first thing when you meet the person, I do not shake. I don't do the shaking. The first date, I don't shake no one. So it depends the way you meet with this guy, or maybe they've decided that some people they already know each other. They come and pick you up. If it's somebody that you've been friends for a long time, or you go to church with, or somebody that you already know, uh, please don't shake hands. I shake my mama hands. Do I shake my mom says? No, I don't. Do I shake my daddy's hands? No, I don't. Don't shake hands. Uh, and guys, please be ready. If you arrive before the woman, please be ready to stand up and take her coat off, her jacket off, coat off. Yeah, take the jacket off on her and help her and put it on the chair where she's going to sit if you can. But if you can't, that's still okay. And if you meet her at the car park, sometimes there are some people that they'll arrive at the car park and then they're waiting for the other person for them to walk together to the venue of where they are going. But if you meet each other at the car park where the restaurant where you're going, and the one more thing, please don't take your date for coffee. Coffee is for an audition. If I want to audition somebody, I take them for coffee. But if I really, really like the person and I want to enjoy my date, I take them for a meal. Don't take anyone for coffee for date or in the pub. The first date is a bit, you wouldn't, it's too noisy. You wouldn't, but you just would just go. It doesn't have to be an expensive restaurant, but just find a nice, reasonable restaurant if you're worried about the cost, and take that person out and just enjoy going out. But we're talking about the real date. There are some people, those who are not aware, there are some people now who simply will put their profiles on the dating apps so they can get free meals. They're not really looking to date anybody, but they just want free meals. So we just when you go on a date, make sure that your inner being will tell you that this is the person that you go on a date. Once you get there, and you taken that person is caught, or maybe you had the opportunity to take the woman is caught and put her where they sit, or if you're waiting for them to come out of the car, obviously you cannot on the first time, if someone waiting for them in the car park is their car, you cannot open their doors. But if you have to give them a lift and drop them somewhere, there's open doors, close open doors, or if they wait for you outside the restaurant, open the restaurant door and make sure you close it for her. Please, well casual guys, this is for men. Open doors, close. Okay. Lead the lady. Take the lady. You man first. You my queen first. Not your queen, it doesn't matter. Queen first. Once they sit down, ask questions. You greet each other, and first ask them their travel. How was the journey? Maybe traffic and stuff. And just try keep the conversation going. Talk about the traffic if they had a traffic, or and then I ask how their week has been, and then after let's get to business. You want to get to know this guy. Just be as friendly as possible. Be playful as possible. Don't be desperate. Whatever will be, hand everything over to the universe and God. Let God take control. Just there for fun, have fun. And then the icebreakers, you ask them what do they do for their free time? Do they have any favorite hobbies or activities? They'll tell you if they do, and then ask background, where did you grow up? And then they will explain to you. When they ask you when you ask somebody like, what do you enjoy doing in your free time? They will answer you. Once they answer you, keep the conversation going based on that answer. And if there's something that interests you, keep the conversation going based on the answer. And then if there's anything else that you like doing and they just said they like doing, just keep going and say, wow, I like that as well. I like doing that. Do you have any favorite hobbies or activities? They might say, like myself, I have activities that I like to do. So if I say, yes, I like, let's say I like football. Wow, amazing. How long have you liked football, or something? Who do you support? I support Chelsea. Wow. And then maybe they support Liverpool. And they'll be like, or they support Manchester United, or they support Man City, Arsenal. And they'll start saying, wow, I'm not a football fan, by the way. Or they might say, I'm a football fan. I support Liverpool. And then the conversation now, and then you're like, wow, that's amazing. And then who is your favorite player? And then they'll share their favorite player. And then you ask the questions, keep the questions going. Have you ever been to actually watch the matches live? Yeah, I have. Or simply they watch it at home. And they might say, mostly football uh, fans, they go and watch football live. So he tell you that, oh yeah, I've got a season ticket. Would you like to come with me one day? And not asking you to be their girlfriend is the conversation now. The reason why this conversation is going is to see if there is really a connection, or there isn't. So then if he says, okay, I have a season ticket, would you like to come with me? And if you're not a big fan of football, don't lie, please, and say, yes, I would love to come. No, don't. Yeah, just say, I think I'll pass. I just say, if you don't like football, just say, I think I'll pass. But if I happen to date you, I support you, I'll go and watch it with you. Don't lie. Please don't say, yeah, I love football if you know you don't love football. Because that would be a torture for you. So just say, just keep the conversation going. Now they say they like this, and if it's something that you like as well, just keep the conversation going. We can talk about the game, or we can talk about the World Cup, the FA Cup. The conversation can keep going, but make sure that you don't make it all about you. It's two-way here, so we have to make sure that when somebody asks us questions, we answer the questions. We don't get excited and keep making it all about us. So if somebody asks me like a football, I love football. So I talk about football, and I'll be like, okay, if I see that they like a football, so we keep asking, I'll ask them questions. So I'll ask them questions like, oh, if you also like football, how long have you been a football supporter? And then they'll be like, all my life. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And then we move on to the first questions. Remember, when you do all these things, your body language has to be into the guy. Your body language has to be, when I'm saying into the guy, I'm not saying liking the person or like saying I'm going to date them. It has to be connected. Like when you talk to somebody over the phone, you talk to a family member, you don't show them that you're not interested in you. Eye contact. You show them that their question matters. You want to know them. And then when they talk about favorite hobbies, answer the questions and let them ask you back as well, because it's a two-way street. And then once, now let's go to the background. Where did you grow up? And they'll tell you where they grew up. Like myself, I grew up in Africa, and I'm dating an English guy. So I had to tell him about Africa, my growing up in Africa. Yeah, grow up in Africa. And when did you come to the UK? So if somebody, let's say, I'm just trying to make an example, and then like my spouse, when he asked me your background, I'm an African. So to him, the next question is, so how long have you been in the UK? And I answer that. And then I ask him as well, because he's English. Where were you born? Were you born in the area where we're meeting? Maybe he's born there, we grew up there. That person will explain, just show interest in everything that the person that they're telling you. So tell me a bit about your family. Then they tell you about their family. Um, they'll tell you about their family history, a family, whether his mom is alive, his dad is alive, his dad might be dead, or he might say, oh, wow, my dad passed away a few years ago, or my dad is alive, or mom passed away a few years ago. I have two brothers, one sister. Um, what else they might say? Uh, they might tell you about their family history. If somebody is in the UK, like let's say I'm in the UK, I'm making an example. I know some of you guys are everywhere. So, and then they'll explain to you that, wow, maybe they have a family in Australia. Australia, they'll tell you that I was born in the UK, but I have family in this. Like my spouse was born in the is born in the UK, but his heritage is Northern Ireland. So they will explain all that. Just show the interest that person. Don't make it all about you. And the guys, don't make it all about you as well. Just let the conversation flow. And then also now we come to values and beliefs. What values are important to you in a relationship? So that person will explain their values. And then you have to listen. When somebody speak to you about their values, why they are important, listen to them. It does not mean that if their values do not align with your values, it does not mean that you have to switch because the guy, he has a good job, he drives a nice car, he lives in a nice area, he's got the money, or the girl has got the money, he's got nice boobies. It does not mean you have to switch your values to match their values. If your values do not match, do not align with yours, that is no. It's only the interest that are not a bigger deal. But if you have family values and that person it does not, family values are not important to that person, the relationship is not going to work. So your values have to align with them. If the person is a Christian, I'm not going to judge, I'm not judging anybody here, guys. If the person is a Christian, there are some people who are Christian, and some they are not Christian, but they love to go to church. They'll say, "I'm not a Christian, but I don't mind the church. I love to go to church. Would you take me? Can I come with you to church?" Please don't dismiss them because they don't go to church. You can still take them to church and see if the relationship don't slip with them that time. See if the relationship is going to work, because your values, if your Christian values are more important, so that is important to date another Christian if it's important to you to date another Christian. But do not dismiss. There are some people who are anti-Christianity. They do not like to talk about God. To them, God does not exist. Please do not date those people in thinking that going to date this person and I'm going to change them later. You're not going to change. No. People change because they want to change. Okay. So make sure your values align with what they with their values. So once you look at their values, if the values align with yours, and then we got, do you have any strong beliefs or convictions that influence your life? So they will explain to you their strong beliefs. What do they believe? And some people that might be into politics, they might tell you why politics is so important to them. That's fine. And some people might be Christian, like myself. I wouldn't be where I am today without God. So God to me is important in my life. I'm not just talking. Honestly, God is important to me. I know when I go to church, in my church, if you come to my church, when I go to my church, I go for God. Every song that I sing it for God. Even if it's out of tune, I don't care. I'm singing it for somebody, I'm singing it for God. Everything that I just love God. So if I was to date somebody who tells me that not to love God, it wouldn't work. And that person, if they explain their beliefs and ask questions, and then now let's go to work and career. Then what do you do for living then? And they'll tell you what kind of job they do, and then they'll tell you how, and then you ask the questions. What? How did you end up in your current job? So they explain to you how they ended up there, and that's another conversation. You see, you don't have to. Hi guys, Facebook, LinkedIn. Love you guys. So when you explain to somebody about you see, you don't have to worry about anything or worry about what am I gonna talk about, what am I gonna. No, you don't have to worry. The conversation has to flow. How did you end up in your current job? So he will explain the story. Everything that the people do, there is a story behind it. So they might explain why they ended up in that career. And then they ask about traveling. Have you traveled anywhere recently? Any favorite destination? They will explain their favorite destination. If they like travel, they will explain, they'll tell you the countries they visited and more countries they wish to visit. Uh, uh, Ask, is there any places you've always wanted to visit? They'll tell you the places they've always, and also yourself, you will tell them if there's places you visited or places you love to visit, if you love travel as well. And you're like, wow, I love traveling. I don't believe this. I love traveling. And let it tell that person where you've been. And then after that, let's go to the interest. What books, what ask them their interest. What books, movies, TV shows are you currently into? Is there any particular grade of music you enjoy? If you meet somebody like me, I have I don't watch TV by the way, but I like comedy films. I just like anything that makes me laugh. I just love them. My favorite actor is Samuel Jackson. I love him so much. Is a good actor. Who else is my favorite actor? Steven Seagal. He looks like my dad. Steven Seagal is like a copy of my dad, so I love him so much. Who else do I like? Uh, I like lots of actors, like mostly uh, comedy guys. Will Smith, I like him. He's a nice guy. So you can talk about those list of the people that you like. I like Marvel films as well. I like The Flash. Who else do I like? When I'm saying I like somebody, it's just my favorite things that just like, what else do I like? I like Lucifer, the TV series, because what you see with Lucifer, that is actually, that was written. I think that TV series was written by actually a witch who has worked with him because that's who he is. So I like watching that because it just makes me laugh. So yeah, I like watching that, but I don't watch things like Harry Potter, anything with the snakes and the witches and things like that. I don't watch it. I just like to watch things that don't cause scary things in me. Comedy, children films, I like to watch them. And I love sports as well. I watch sports, but unfortunately, I don't watch TV a lot. I just spend time being creative and praying with God. I used to watch TV a lot, but now I don't. I spend time instead with God. So you can actually uh, do those things and just work out your date, the things that they like, and ask questions based on them, what the things that they like to do. And I also ask you questions and keep it authentic as well. When you keep things authentic, don't try to switch and uh, pretend to like something if you know that your values and your beliefs are not aligned with that person is fine. That means that person they're not yours to date. Yours that means yours is coming. So and then once you ask the interest, they'll tell you. Um, so when it comes to interest, that's where there is tricky. So there are some interest like they don't matter, even if they are not. If you don't like the same interest, like I like football, but my spouse is not into football. So it means if I want to go and watch football, I will go and watch football with my friends, or I'll go on my own and meet my friends there to watch football. Or sometimes, if you want to support me, he can come with me. That's when you both they have interest that you like with each other, you like are linked together, is fine. But when you have interests that are not linked together, it means that he can go and do his own thing because you don't have to be together all the time. Uh, that wouldn't be practical to be with somebody like a 24/7. They still need to do their own things. So the interests are fine. So they can go off and do their own things. You can go off and do their own things. Make sure you have interest that you do. Like my spouse, like scuba diving. There is no way I like scuba diving. It's scary. But when I went, we go with him when he's going skydiving. When he goes for skydiving, we go with him. But I think I might try it. But I still have obligations. It's so scary. But I think when I went there, I realized that's how these people for scuba diving they make friends because they get to travel with each other. They get to travel different countries. You can go different countries or Spain, skydiving. That means you make friends. Uh, Another world. So that's a good way to do activities that you enjoy. So some activities you can do them together. Some you can let them do their own thing is fine. So don't worry about the activities. You don't have to do everything together. And then it goes and aspiration. Now, what are your short-term and long-term goals? And this is where it becomes tricky. Guys, when a woman asks you for your goals, a man who loves himself too much, when he talks about his goals, they're looking to date somebody. But when you actually ask them about their goals, their long term and short term goals, they don't involve him or the woman. It's just them. They will talk about, they'll tell you when they answer the questions, they'll tell you about the things that they love, that excite them. They wouldn't be talking about, wow, if you find a guy that is really, really serious to settle down, they'll tell you that, okay, my long and short term goals, my long term goals is to meet the woman of my dreams and connect with that person and we build a life together. Don't know how that life is going to look like, but I have some ideas of the city where I would like to raise my children. Or if that person don't want to have children, and they'll tell you straight away that I don't. I love to do anything else, but I don't like to have children. I don't want to have children. So they'll tell you, but if they wish to get married, to have children, they'll tell you as well. But let's not judge people. There are some people who don't know how to answer the question. They might not, they may not answer the question how you expect them to answer, but they might still looking for the same thing that you are looking for. So we need to make sure that be specific. If you see that they don't answer the questions that you have asked in those goals, the short and long term goals, just ask them. So if you do find this the person that you are looking for, are you looking for a long term relationship or what's the deal? What are you looking for? So they will explain to you then because now you're being specific. Yes, I'm looking for a long term relationship if I find the right person. And no, please don't speak based on this person that is in front of you because you don't know whether there is a connection or there isn't. Just say, yes, if I do find that special person, I I don't mind settling down. I don't mind having children, or I don't want to have children. I don't mind getting married, or I don't want to get married again. And there are some people who don't want to get married. So if you want to get married and they don't want to get married, don't date that person. They're still in the confused zone. I was simple. Don't want to get married because they don't want to. So everyone is entitled for what they how they feel. So if they don't want to get married, they need to date somebody who do not want to get married. So that's where it becomes tricky. So you have to ask the question, be specific. And how do you handle conflict in a relationship? Ask them that question. And they'll tell you, please don't judge them because uh, they'll be nervous. So don't judge them. Then now, let's move on. Favorite things. What's your favorite food type? What's your favorite type of food? Then they'll tell you, and then they ask them if it's Chinese, why do they like Chinese? And ask if they have any favorite season time or any favorite season or time of the year. Ask them that question as well. And then now we go to personal growth. Are they skilled? Do you have any? Ask them if they have any skill hobbies they are looking to develop and see if it aligns with you. How do you approach personal growth and self improvement? So, if you are somebody who is into self improvement, personal growth, you'll say you have to decide whether that aligns with whatever they are doing, aligns with what they are doing. And then we go to family history. Tell me about your relationship, the relationship with your family. Uh, some people don't have a relationship with their family. Please don't judge. And it doesn't mean that they're bad person. I have met people who are really, really amazing, who don't have relationship with their family. Some people simply because maybe when they were growing up, parents neglected them and they struggle, they still, or they've dealt with it. So they've decided that the family that raised them is their family. So everything has to be based on the person and the situation. But some people, they are completely, completely horrible people, and they don't have a relationship with their own families because they're horrible. So you have to judge the situation. Are there any family traditions? Are they particularly important to you that are particularly important to you? So if there are family traditions that are particularly important to that person will explain what are they. Like my family, if you get married to somebody, first you have to do tradition. You have to do traditional wedding, and after the traditional wedding is where the family they ask for lobola and all these things. But I'm not gonna do that myself because my dad is not available. My mom already know because it's a parent's joy to sit down with their in-laws and to connect with that person. So I feel that if somebody has to do that on my father's behalf, because of the relationship that I have with my dad, I feel that they'll be taking my father's place. And for me, in order like to do something tradition for myself, for my marriage, is to do something for my dad or something for my mom that she'll look at it and remember that when my daughter got married, she did that was just something like charity that she can have the name that will be forever there. I love to do that. Just to set up something for her, for my mom. I should always remember that it was my daughter. And with my dad, because he is not here, I wouldn't actually just, if somebody was to sit down and say how much lobola they want, it wouldn't feel right. Because to me, my daddy isn't there. So it wouldn't really, you know what I mean? A father and daughter's child is special. Relationship is special. And those who are close to their dad, you know what they, you know what I mean. So I wouldn't feel comfortable if somebody was to sit me down and charge lobola on my father's behalf. It wouldn't be right. And so that's what. So you can ask their family beliefs and tradition if there is a tradition that people believe, and then also can you share memorable? Ask them to share like life experience. Ask them to share memorable, life-changing experiences, and also how have their past shaped who they are today. Just ask those questions. It's very, very important. And then after that, I'm sure when we get to this part, this is where you have an idea of this person, who they are, of what they like to do, if they are whatever they are aligns with you. This is now where you have to make a decision. Random fun questions now. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why? So they will tell you. Now you're trying to find that fun side in them. And if you had a superpower, what would it be? So they'll tell you. And now you're uh, trying to trigger the fun side of this person. And also remember to listen actively and share your thoughts as well and experiences, and create a comfortable, engaging conversation that allows both of you to connect on a deeper level. That is very, very, very important. also know what you want as well. And once you know what you want as well, you start. You don't judge somebody. And then as once you ask those questions and they answer your questions, now you can focus on the connection. The connection and the questions that you ask for the connection. And now we're talking about to evaluate the intimacy connection. Now that you have answered the questions, family values, beliefs, to their interest, family background, they've answered all that, their goals for the future. Now we then have to come to the intimacy connection. The intimacy connection questions, they have to come from the heart. You have to you have to bring them out from the heart as you are with that person as individual, because I don't know what you like. What kind of a man do you like? So I don't know all those questions. So try to keep the conversation going. Or if you remember, like maybe they ask questions, maybe you ask questions about the food that they like. Just maybe bring out that food and say, ask them what kind of food they like and stuff. Talk about that. And and then also now, if they now they've explained everything, now ask them a question. Why? So why are you sitting with it? Good-looking guy. I know what you want. So why are you single? And guys, to answer this question, please make sure you do not like your exes. No matter how bad your ex made you feel, no matter how horrible he or she was, please do not slag them off. Because in order to win a woman's heart, a woman needs to know that this person she's a loving and caring person. So don't let what your ex did come between you and your future spouse. Don't slag them off. When somebody says, why are you single? There's different answers you could give. Single because I have not met you. Just look at them in the eye. I'm single because I've not met you. You try to make them laugh. Then they'll just laugh and say you're funny. Say, well, that's why I'm here today. Or I am single because I have not met the one. Or single simple because I had to put the dating thing on hold while I focus on my career. But now I feel I'm ready to meet that special person and build a life together. Don't say I'm single because my ex did this to me, or because my ex she is horrible or he is horrible. Don't say those words. And women, please don't. And once they answer the questions, why are they single? And then they ask them, so if you were to find the love of your life today, what are your plans? Would you like to get married? Remember the goals, you already asked them goals. If you everything aligns, would you love to get married one day, or is the marriage no on the cards? Oh, yeah, of course. Or maybe they'll say no, it's fine, because they have to be honest, and also you have to be honest as well. So that's fine. So let them be them. Let them be them. And what else? The question asked them if they have children. with family background and stuff, I think they must have already explained if they have kids or they don't have kids. So I think that part they already know that they don't have kids or they have kids. Or if they do have kids, a little conversation like don't go deep. Maybe just ask how old are your kids? Maybe we'll tell you how old the kids. Wow, that's a beautiful age. Nice age. And maybe do they go to school? Yeah, they go to a local school. Okay. Or me, I don't have kids. So if you're somebody who don't have kids, or if you have kids as well, you can tell a little bit. Please don't explain who has the children in the week or the husband has the children on this day and you have don't explain all that. It's all about the date and getting to know the person. Okay. You can say that maybe if you are arranging a second date for them to go on a second date with you. Okay, what else? The first time is focusing on this on the other person and you, just to make sure that it is everything aligned with what you're looking for, and uh, making sure that what you're looking for is what they are looking for. That is very, very, very important. Uh, so I'm gonna share with you something about me, so you can use that quickly. You can use that if you want. For me, I was. Why did I create this my company? And if somebody was to ask me, okay, Nonsa, you say you're from Africa and you are a matchmaker. So tell me about the business and everything. So my how I created Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency is because I was raised in a profound belief in true authentic. My parents and my grandparents impacted the wisdom of creating an authentic image, prioritizing family values, taking charge of one destiny, and one destiny is designed by God. I believe that what lies within a person is far greater than the external appearance. If someone was to ask me um, uh, that question, and so then they'll be like, okay, that's very, very interesting. So tell me about your mission of your company and stuff. And now I'm going on a date, guys. And then if somebody was to ask me that question, I'll have to um, tell them my mission that aligns with. For me, what I do is what makes me do what I do today is because I help my clients align their outer world and their inner world, ensuring that when they choose the right person, is who they want God created them to be. And also, um, for me, it's all about understanding the essence of individuality and guiding that person towards an harmonious connection and with their individuals. And also, I believe, for me, I believe that the beauty of life lies within authenticity. It does not lie within the makeup. And that's what I believe. And I always encourage everyone to walk their path, to walk their uniqueness, to dance their own rhythm, and compose uh, their own life music. So that's what I believe that is me. And I also believe that living authentically is the core of my philosophy. I see that as a way of life. And I know that when you're authentic, it does not ask popularity, but it embodies unapologetic self-expression in my eyes. And I believe that a true character does not require a validation. True character is a journey of self-discovery and self-love. That's what I believe, guys. And the reason why I'm doing what I do is because of the we have we are expected in our society, we are expected to be something that we cannot be. But that's why sometimes my vision extends beyond societal expectations, because for me, it's what God expects me to become, not what I'm expected to become by my family or by anybody. When you live your life in harmony as a person, when you go out and date somebody in harmony with one true self, that is true love. Embracing your uniqueness, fostering the world of authentic in celebration and cherishing everything in life. That's what I believe. That is true authenticity. I don't believe in putting on a character. And I do not believe in pretending to be something that I'm not. There are some people in this world, in this society, where they take the personal development too far, where they say they will look at somebody and in a judgmental way, and they make a decision instead of judging them, instead of getting to know the person, they'll make a decision of what they think that person is. And for me, I believe a truth. I believe in God. And I believe that when you are true to yourself and true to people around you, it doesn't matter what voices people say. If it's not true, it's not going to align with you. And then you'll find that, because some people, they try to fit in. So if you are somebody, one of my pastor last week said, if you are somebody who still needs people to validate your life, then that means you still need to work on yourself. So for me, it's not about the validation. It's all about, it's like if I was to go on a date now, I sit down with God before I go on this date. I say to God, I'm going on this date with this person that I'm going on date. Please show me if there is anything that is in that person's life that will hinder my moving forward. Or if that person is not meant for me, just show me. And I ask him to hold my hand. And I find that is a bar. I do not seek a validation from anyone, because when you seek a validation, when you meet somebody, if you're meant to date that person, you know that this is the one. There are some people who meet men and they're like, this is my husband. They're like, no doubt. They just know inside that this person is for me. It's like you feel like you're connected, you feel like you've met in another world. So those are the things that sometimes God does and the universe do. God is the universe. Universe is God. God is the creator of the universe. And there are those things that you just know. When you meet somebody, you just know that that person is for you. And also there are things where when you go on a date, you are there to serve. You need to present yourself as the queen. The husband is the king. Come in a place of you want to serve your man. When you come in a place of serving, that person will tell you how they want you to serve them, and then their boundaries, their principles in the relationship, the things that they like, the things that they don't like, and they'll promise to communicate their want, their desires to you. So just date that person if you feel connected to them. What else do I need? What can I say? For me, is authentic. I believe in the authenticity. I I spend my whole life hiding behind fake makeup, hiding behind you name it. When I made a decision that I'm just going to be me, I'm not going to hide, I'm just going to be me. I just accept me for who I am as a person. I would never ever disappointed that day because and when I accepted God fully and say, God, I surrender myself to you, never ever be disappointed. So that's what life is about. When you meet somebody on a date, just be you. Don't pretend to be something that you are not. Just be you. Keep it true. Keep it authentic. Uh, what else? What else can I do? Your character. Let your character take the lead. Let God take the lead. And if you're not a God's believer, I can't give you advice. Me, I always just, I love God. So what else would you like to do if you don't like, if you're not sure about the person for the first time, ask to go on a first date. So that's it for me today, guys. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow Gossip Talk Shows on our social media. And we are all on our social media. And go to the website, please. Sign up if you're looking for love. If you're a woman, we have a free red book for women to join. Uh, so it's free. That is for networking. You can put your name down if you can't afford, but if you wish to pay, there is a one-off fee to pay, which means when you pay, you become the priority. And so God bless everyone. And if you need coaching as well, head over to the coaching page on the website www.hseia.com. Register yourself. And God bless, guys. I'll speak to you soon.